Good evening, and welcome to a new live edition of Urban Sentinel Live. Hey guys, I know you had to endure reruns the last couple of weeks. Hey, but it's all good. Sometimes the reruns are better than the live shows, but it's summertime, and I got to take advantage of the time that we have left, to try to enjoy my summer also. So it's good to see everyone here with me tonight. I appreciate you all supporting the Urban Sentinel Live. We're working on the magazine for August now. September. We're working on the magazine for September because it is August. So all is well. So tonight I have with me a guest, and let me just bring up my information. And he's half of the duo of hit creators. I believe I got it right. So without further ado, I want to bring on Mr. James Cupid of Hit Creators. Is that right, James?
You got it right.
Okay. Hey, look, I was looking at this interview y'all did with Shout Out Atlanta. Got the little 8 up in the middle. I said, I got to make sure I get it right and everything. So James is with us tonight. The other half of the duo, PM Taylor. Is that?
Pelham.
Pelham Taylor.
See, I just call him Taylor.
You call him Taylor. Okay, so I'm going to call him Taylor. He can't be with us tonight. So, excuse me. So we have the other half with us tonight, and we're going to talk about music. That's what we're going to talk about. So, James, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Just excited.
Right.
Here. I love what you're doing. I did check out the magazine and your page beforehand, so I'm just excited.
Okay, thank you. So you're enjoying the hot weather down in Florida?
Oh man, loving it. I don't go to the beach every day because everybody, right. When you live close to the water, you get used to it. But I enjoy it every now and then.
Right. Then where you located at in Florida?
I'm actually in Tampa.
In Tampa, okay. I was down there about 2 weeks ago. We went down to Clearwater. We were down in Orlando, and we drove down on Saturday about 2 Saturdays ago, and spent the day down at the beach in Clearwater. Pretty nice. Yeah. Even though I went through great pains to come down there and support you all down in Florida, because I know y'all need the money too, even though you got this lunatic running the state government for you, but hey, that's another show right there.
Yeah,
just
a shame, man.
Yeah. So look, James, tell me, how did you and Taylor get hooked up? Taylor's here in DC, and you're down in Florida. So how did you all hook up? Tell me your history.
The power of the internet.
Okay.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I was online and I seen some of the work that he was doing with a mutual artist that we both knew. And I was just like, blown away by some of the stuff he was writing. And it's just like, with me and him, it's a perfect match because we both write music, but, he mainly writes and I produces and create the melody, and we just come together, kind of give our perfect balance. So I just inquired about who wrote the song, and he commented back. He's like, yeah, man, I wrote on this song or whatever. He was like, we should work together. He checked out some of my stuff. And ever since then, we just been working.
Right. Okay, cool. And how long have you been writing music?
So I actually started writing music, I say third grade, because I used to write like little, poems and stuff like that. I actually used to write poems to get out in trouble. I used to write poetry to my mom. And my mom, she used to have a soft heart right there. So they used to get me out of whoopings and stuff like that. My dad, he caught on fast. He was like, nah, you can't do that. But after a while, I saw that I was getting better, so I was like, let me start adding melody to these poems that I'm writing.
Now, how long has Taylor been writing and producing?
Man, I know he's always been a writer, but as far as music, as far as I know, at least about 10 years or more now.
Oh, okay, good. So y'all got a well of experience. Both of you all have in the writing and producing part of the industry, songwriting, things of that nature. Now, who's some of the artists you've written for? Anybody I know?
Um, I have worked with a few because I'm mainly a producer.
Okay.
I write a lot of stuff for a lot of the artists that I work with who hit creators. But I mean, as far as producing, I have featured on the song with I'm not sure if you would know him. He goes by 24 Hours.
Hmm.
He works with like Ty Dolla Sign, Jermaine Dupri. I have a song with him. I actually did some stuff with King Los. I'm not sure. He's a lot of rappers and stuff, but
Okay.
um,
Hey, look,
but
man. Okay. I'm older. Okay. All right. Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you, I thank my parents, for putting me on to gospel music,
Mhm.
soul music, and R&B because that's where my heart is. So
Right.
I do inspire to work with like the bigger R&B artists like Beyonce and Usher
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So I'm working towards those type of things. But I'm mainly right now involved in a lot of independent music and films. We've been in a lot of doing a lot of music for like sync for films and stuff like that.
Mac Drama is asking you a question. He said, "Do you write for different genres or stick to one type?"
So my main genre is R&B. That's that's where my foundation. But I also I write for pop pop music, rock. I'm into different sounds and
Hmm.
cultures as well. But my main foundation is R&B and hip hop.
Right. Then what's Teller's main foundation? What is his main foundation when it comes to writing?
R&B, but
R&B.
he loves writing pop music as
Hmm.
well. R&B, we both that's where we connected originally. Is we both our love for R&B music.
I know some in the music industry now. A lot of black entertainers, uh, are, stretching out into country music now. And
Oh yeah.
I was surprised at the number of artists black artists that are in country music at this time. At one time, the only one that you really knew was Charlie Pride. That was the only country artist you knew. But now it seems like it's quite a few individuals branching out into country music. Have you ever thought about branching out into country music also?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Right now, I'm also a part of a songwriting club, and they have a lot of writers out of Nashville.
Hmm.
We do different projects. I get different projects that come across my desk all the time.
Okay.
I'm very open minded. I
Hmm.
love country music as well. So I'm looking into getting into some of those things too, and even working with a lot of black artists in country music because
Hmm.
I feel like we are the originators of a lot of this stuff. So it's
Yes.
important for us to go back to it.
Yes. Like I say, it's changing. The world is changing and everything. So we got to change with it. Yes, we got to change with it. So tell me about. I know Taylor was telling me about a music camp that you guys ran or do run. Tell me about that.
So we started. So this year, 2023, we wanted to start it in 2022, but because we were so excited, we wanted to get it going fast.
Hmm.
But we just took a little bit more time with it, and we had our first camp in July. It was a 3 day camp we did here in Florida, and our whole purpose of even starting Hit Creators was to create an opportunity for a lot of up and coming artists, songwriters, music producers to help them get their foot in the business and understand that there's another part of the business that a lot of musicians don't pay attention to, which is TV, film, and sync. And it's a broad industry. You don't have to. The music industry is very political.
Hmm.
So I've been there where I'm writing songs. Recently I did submit some music for Nicki Minaj new album and a few other bigger artists. But the thing is, it can get frustrating sometimes because you're gonna hear a lot of no's. It doesn't mean that your music isn't good. It just means that the timing isn't right. So
Hmm.
there's other avenues that you can take advantage of while you're in pursuit of your dream. And me and Taylor, we saw the avenue of sync licensing and movies and TV and film, and we just been really just taking advantage of that whole scene lately.
Well, I do realize too that with a major artist, they probably do get a lot of songs sent to them to listen to consider using and stuff. I'm pretty sure they have a task themselves trying to go through and listen to all the songs and picking out a song that might, make them some money, because at the end of the day, they're looking for a hit.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's what they're looking for, is a hit and everything. So, how did the kids enjoy the music, Cameron? How many kids did you all have?
So it wasn't kids. It was anywhere from 20 years old and
Oh,
up.
okay. Mm-hmm.
And it was a very intimate, private camp. We had I'll say about 8 songwriters there.
Mm-hmm.
And they enjoyed it. They left with a lot, because like I said, that's our purpose, to empower, enlighten the songwriters and musicians, and just introduce them to a whole nother thing, because it's different from just actually seeing it from the outside looking in and actually being inside. I've been in different big sessions to see how they operate and do certain things in the industry, and I just want to share that stuff with other inspiring musicians. So we was able to do that during the camp, and just even people who have the ability to sing and record music but never considered being a songwriter. Because I tell all musicians, you should consider being a songwriter, because if you're able to sing and record music, bringing that craft of writing, you never know where it can get you. You get you into where you want to be.
Very true. Very true. It can open up a lot of doors for you. But it's like the ocean is full of songwriters and producers. So you got to do something that makes yourself stand out. You got to be that one person that, hey, 50 go to the left, one goes to the right. You got to be able to stand out. And I know that's a challenge for you guys. To make sure that you are doing quality of work that makes you stand out. And I think that goes for any field, that professional field you're in. You to stand out, you got to be, on the top of your game. Definitely got to be on top of your game. Now, with Taylor, and I know he's from the DC area. How has his career been? As far as doing music in DC. We're known for go-go. That's our main genre of music. So how has he done as far as working with people in the DC area?
Well, as long as I knew him, I know he's always been active with a lot of indie artists out there. I know he did work with Raheem Devine back in the day. So I know he's always active in working and seeking, to work with new talent out there. So he's always in the studio and creating. So he's always just, looking for new talent. That's our main thing. We're out looking for new talent,
right,
for the next generation.
Yeah. Definitely got to do it for the next generation, man. That's a good thing. If you're listening, let's look at one of the videos, Mark.
I feel like a rose out of concrete. Feel like it's a jungle all around me. Pain in these streets, I let my heart speak. I ain't got no love, who gon' love me? Had to blossom in the rain. The sunshine never came. I've been feeling stressed, so I keep my head down. I've been in a maze, only one way out, no better love. I am enough, no better love. Our eyes above. Sometimes I feel like a ghost. The block made me a rose, no better love. I am enough. Life gets so hard, but I'm gonna make it. Arch my chest out, so I have to take it. Walking these streets filled with constant danger, till I will survive. I'ma walk with my head up to the sky. Ain't nobody gonna steal my pride. One life to live, so I'm living mine. My art is my life. I feel like a rose out of concrete. Feel like it's a jungle all around me. Pain in these streets, I let my heart speak. I ain't got no love, who gon' love me? No better love. I'm strong enough. No better love. I'll rise above. Sometimes I feel like a ghost. The block made me a rose. No better love. I am enough. I'm a survivor. No better love.
Okay, all right, man. I got a little something there now. All right, man. So tell me about No Better Love. Was this an independent movie?
Yes. It's
Okay.
an independent movie directed and created by Arthur Muhammad. He's done a lot of films, with BET, Netflix, a lot of different big projects. His big one of his my favorite movies from him is Carter High, which is a favorite one on Netflix. A lot of people watch. But No Better Love was a independent film about a young lady who grew up in an inner city, a tough environment, and the only out she had was her art. So she invested a lot of time in her art, but during that time she had a lot of different distractions, like a love interest that she fell in love with, but he rejected her, and so she ended up falling in love with another guy, but she pretty much used him to get the attention of the guy that she really wanted, which caused a deadly love triangle. So we made a song about basically about her, and it was a theme song for the movie.
Okay. Now, this movie came out in 22, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, where can the viewers go to watch this movie if they have a desire to watch it?
So this movie, you can open up your Tubi TV and watch it. It's and it's also on Amazon Prime. But if you don't have Amazon Prime, I be on Tubi. When I'm not on my Amazon Prime, I'm on Tubi TV. So check it out on Tubi TV.
Oh, okay. Man, they got so many apps out here for everything now, man.
Yeah.
You got to write them down on a piece of paper to keep up with them or get them, so you know where all the shows are. I mean, the world has changed. Technology has changed the way we reach out to people, and I'm definitely seeing that every day. Okay. So yeah. Okay, right on, man. Sounds good. You was on to something and everything. And where did they film this movie at? What city did they film it in?
I believe, from my knowledge, I believe they did film it in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay. Good. So, how did you come across that opportunity to write the song for that movie?
I give Taylor all the credit for that.
Okay.
He had already been involved with a lot of different projects with this particular director, Arthur Muhammad, and he wrote other songs for other projects he was doing in the past. And me and Taylor, we reconnected together to start writing songs for film. And he hit me up. He said, "Bro, I got this great opportunity for indie film." And we had already did some other stuff together before that, but he said, "I got some opportunities to with this new indie film that they're doing." And he told me the whole plot and everything. We came together and just put our heads together, started creating stuff. And yeah, and ever since then, a lot of the work that we've been doing, have the director really trusts us, and a lot of the projects he was involved, he always giving us a call.
Okay, good. Now let me ask you a question. You are a producer, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why do you feel there's a lack of black females in the industry as producers?
I think, well, this is just my opinion. This is
Mhm.
my opinion. Because I meet a lot of talented female producers all the time, like being in the studios and stuff. I think because the industry is so dominated by men, a lot of females don't get that opportunity to spearhead a lot of stuff, because you have female producers like Missy Elliott, Wonder Girl, but like they're not promoted. Missy Elliott, because she's just one of a kind. You know, a lot of people know her, but they're not promoted heavily like, you know, your Jermaine Dupri's and Timberlands and stuff like that. So because it's very male dominant, and even the studio environment is always male dominant. That's why anytime I'm working with females, I like to try to prep them on what to expect and just like what to watch out for and stuff like that, because you know, you got a lot of people in this industry that do try to take advantage of females and things like that. And that's something that we also teach at our writing camp as well, is just like teaching those type of things to watch out for, and just to understand that this industry is male dominant, and it is changing now. And I'm happy for that, to see more females involved in writing and producing. But I think the reason why we don't see a lot of mega female producers is because it's so male dominant.
Yeah, I know. So the reason I asked you that is because my daughter, she has skills as a producer. You know, she works now as an audio engineer, and she did attempt to work with a number of producers here in the DC area. But as you say, it's a whole different market out there when it comes to young ladies working in these studios and everything, you know, because she was just talking about the atmosphere in a lot of the studios, you know, drugs and cussing and, you know, and not respecting her knowledge, you know, about, you know, what she knows and what she's capable of doing and everything, you know. So she was talking about that and everything, you know. So, I think with any industry, you know, that's male dominated, it takes a while for women to break through that glass ceiling to make themselves known. You know.
And what I would add to that too is I just would my advice would be to number one, find your tribe, find the people who believe in you, find the people who respect you. You know, because in that, you know, you could grow, because it's a lot of people, like I said, with it being male dominant, and like you do have situations where you got studio sessions where it's a lot of, see, I don't like to be in sessions where the studio smoked out. Sometimes you can't control that if you're working with a big artist that
right.
Is wanted like that. You can't really control that. And most of the times, a lot of those artists don't really like a lot of people in the room anyway. You just sometimes, depending on what type of artist you're dealing with. But one thing I would say is just find your tribe, find the people who think like you, and just on the same path, you know, because though you do got people out there in the industry that's on the same wavelength as you. Just find those.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, if you go into a studio with Snoop Dogg, you might well expect it.
Absolutely, for sure.
All right, look, he gonna blow the place up. I know he was in this area last week, and my niece did a clip and she put it on Facebook. And he came out on the stage. When he came out, he was going at it, boy. I said, "That's Snoop Dogg for you, boy." Hey, look, if you took that away from him, he probably go up in the corner and die. He needs it. That's just him. You know, he needs it. Hey, Mark, you got the second video ready?
Don't know how the right went wrong, ooh. Can't believe the things you had me do. Didn't know how this could work. Now I'm stuck in chains and I'm hurt. All the pain in my eyes, I need someone that can treat me right. All the fake love in disguise, I tried. I did a bit for you. This time This time I bid for love. Now this time I bid for love. I did a bid for you. This time I bid for love. Now this time I bid for love. This time I bid for love. This time I bid for love. 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 You just wanna break me down. How you gonna break me down? What you gonna break me down? How you gonna break me down? Me down, 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 me down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just wanna take all of me. I done had enough, yeah, can't you see? I'm faded from all of your trickeries. Can't let you get to the best of me. Why, oh why? You just wanna see me hurt. Why, oh why? You just wanna see me hurt. I did a bid for you. This time I bid for love. This time I bid for love. Now this time I bid for love. I did a bid for you. This time I bid for love. Now this time I bid for love. This time I bid for love. This time I bid for love. Love. This time I bid for love. Love. This time I bid for love. Love. This time I bid for love.
Okay, good song, good song. Bid for Love. We got a gentleman from Calgary, Alberta, Canada tonight listening in. Aaron Gibson. Thanks for listening in, Aaron. Now, yeah, that was another good song. Now, so tell me about this. This was another independent movie, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about this one, Bid for Love.
So when we got this project, I was super excited because it was this project was actually with through BT. So it was a BT original. They scheduled it to play on BT. BT heard all the TV networks, any of the stations that are associated with BT. It was released through Amazon Prime, also BT Plus. So it was amazing to be a part of. And the story was it's a true story. We're gearing up for the sequel right now. We're creating music for it now, but it's a true story. It's about the character in the story, her name is Sasha, and she basically does a bid for a guy that she was in love with, and a bid means doing time in jail.
Mhm.
And she did time in jail for him, basically. And when she got out, and he basically disappeared, and she thought he was dead. But when she got out of jail, she had to restart her life around and find love again, and seek therapy and all that. So it's a really deep story. You can watch it now on BT Plus. It comes on BT every now and then, and it's also on Amazon Prime.
Okay, so if I would catch it up with, I can tell people, hey, look, I know one of the songwriters for that movie, who wrote that song, Bid for Love, so that's great, man. That is great. So what other ways are you and Taylor trying to get your music out? Do y'all have managers, agents that work with you, or are you just out there on your own,
So
hitting the pavement?
currently we are independent. Eventually, down the line, we'll seek counsel as far as an agent or sorry, my light went out. As far as an agent or let me see if I can turn up the light on my screen. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about
Okay.
that. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My ring light just stopped.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. What was the question again?
We were talking about agents and everything. You all working for agents to have to
So
get more gigs?
so right now we currently independent. Eventually we are going to be seeking counsel and working with the agency because right now we're starting a independent production company. It, and we pretty much negotiate our own deals when it comes to sync licensing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have had an agent in the past, and I've signed with an indie label. We were doing a distribution through Sony Music, so I've been around that, and even dealing with different contract situations. I learned how to read my own contracts, construct my own contracts, and that's another thing that we teach within our camp about split sheets and how royalties and publishing works and certain things, different clauses you see in contracts and stuff like that. We really advocate for the artists.
Okay, so with that in mind, are you all going to be doing another camp next year? Or yeah,
Yes,
this year? Yes.
yeah. So we plan to have it as an annual camp.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, we plan to do it more frequently in the flow of the music business. The
Mm-hmm.
music business works in quarters, so like every 3 months, and so we want to have the camp every 3 months. Eventually down the line, right now we're doing it annually, so we plan to do our next camp in 2024 in July.
Okay. Now, how important is it for artists to learn the business side of the business?
Very, very, very important. You don't want to end up in a situation where you sign a bad contract and you're unable. You can get out of any contract, but representation is important. Some contracts cost more to get out of. That's why a lot of big artists you see they start complaining after 3 years, 3 to 5 years, because that's around the time where they notice that all the newness of the business becomes old. Just being on TV and magazines and all that stuff. That stuff gets old, and you look around and you gotta take care of your family because a lot of people don't understand. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors in the industry. A lot of people, a lot of artists that you may think have a lot of money, they don't really have much money because they rent their cars, they label the house is in the label name, the car is in the label name, they in debt because a lot of the money they give you, if you sign a deal for $2 million, that money is a loan. And if you're using it, say you're using it, you buying all the cars, all the jewelry, you buying all these things, that is cutting into your actual budget. All of the money they give you, everything. If they sit down with you at a restaurant and they say, hey, this we're going to take you to dinner, you paying for that dinner, and you don't even know it because you new to all of this stuff. So when you go to look and you say you get an auditor to audit things that happens with your finances while you sign to a label. The auditor gonna tell you, hey, remember all those dinners they took you to, those business meetings that you was in? You paid for all those things. So it's important to just understand how this business works.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do get signed to a deal, understand that money isn't for you to, buy everything. It's really, you can buy a house and maybe a car, but just don't go crazy because that money is for you actually to create your album or your single.
Because that's basically an advance. Because you got to, at the end of the day, your record sales are going to pay that money back to them, and then after you clear that $2 million hurdle, then everything else is profit for you once they get that money back. Am I correct?
That's correct, and that's why a lot of artists they make statements like, "I'm not getting paid. I'm not seeing no money." You can't get paid until you recoup, and you have
Mm-hmm.
to. And by recouping, that is making up the money that you were advanced.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are your thoughts about how radio and concerts affect music now, and even with streaming? Back in my day, okay, we had albums, okay, we had wax, okay, that was the bottom line of it. So artists knew where the money was going, because they could kind of calculate on the number of albums that were sold, and the CDs came along, and they could do the same thing with CDs, but with streaming. I've heard that it's very hard to really make any money for streaming because, technology, I guess they feel like technology is a field where everybody owns it, so why should I be paying royalties to you because your music is being streamed by other individuals. So what do you think about that collision?
So I do feel like eventually we're going to get to a place where streaming will become more profitable. You got a lot of different organizations and people that's fighting for that right now. I don't agree with the amount of money that we get paid with streaming, because a lot of musicians don't understand. Even if you get on Beyonce album, and you wrote something on an album. Number one, you get paid last. A lot of songwriters get paid last, and it's like you on there, you looking, they got millions of streams, and you gotta understand those streams are like not even a fraction of a penny, that you get. And so, you do the math. You have a massive catalog just to make money. Like I've created songs that have 100,000 streams, 200,000 streams. I produce songs that have those around that amount of streams. Um, Even got close to 1 million before. So it's like understanding like how those things work with streaming, and understand that how the finances work with that. That's why it's important to create product, just different ways of packaging yourself so you can make more profit from what you're doing. Because just relying on streaming alone is not enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, technology has really messed up stuff. Yeah.
It has, I'll say it has, and it has benefit. There's some benefits because with the metaverse, there's new ways where you can make money through that. It's other things, but I think, and it has cheapened the art because I kind of was on the tail end of CDs that I can remember growing up. And I remember having to go to the mall and buying the CD, or going to Walmart and buying the CD and stuff like that. And at the time, it was like you'll buy a 50-cent CD for like $19.99, and that's big. If you get a whole bunch, you go platinum, you sell most of the units of that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But now you're getting everything for free, so it kind of cheapened the art. So, and that way, I mean, even when creating music is cheaper because of technology, creating music videos is cheaper because of technology. So I think people don't stop the way that they used to back in the day because now you got so many people doing music. So when you see an artist say, "Hey, check my music out," you're like, I don't know. But there was a time frame where if a person would see an artist, because most artists back then were very talented, so you would stop and say, "Hold on, let me check out, see what you're doing." But now you got so many people involved in music, so people are not so eager to stop anymore. And it's kind of cheapened the art because the value that they priced on it because of technology, and it's free. And the people, they don't feel like, oh, I got to go to the store to get it, because it's you can just pull up YouTube and listen to it that way. We do get royalties and streams from it, but it's like penny, not even a penny on the dollar.
And talking about that, seems like most artists now, instead of downloading the whole album, they might download one song, and it might be 2 or 3 months before they download another song. Back in the day when the groups came out, they just came out complete album, ready to go, ready to hit the market. The radio stations picked and choose what songs to play. Now it's not like that. So do you think that's affecting the amount of money that can be made too when you just putting out a song at a time, unless you're a big name artist,
Yeah, I do, because with the way that royalties work, you have to wait. You have to wait about 3 months to get paid on the song, and sometimes 6 months. So if you're dropping a single every year, you're not getting much from that. So that's why you see artists they'll drop singles more frequently now. But like with an album, it's so much. You got touring with the album, you got merchandising and all these different things, and so the album is missing because the way people consume music now, everyone consumes it so fast. It's microwavable, it's quick. So the labels see that, they see the profit in the single because it's cost effective. It's less money involved in promoting the single. They benefit more from the single than the artist. So for them, it's like, okay, it's a win-win. I can just sign a whole bunch of artists when you drop singles, and I have to spend so much time. And then another thing, You know, a lot of people say, what happened to like the Whitney Houstons and the Michael Jacksons and people like that? Though the music that Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston made, that costs a lot of money. You know, you go in the studio, you in there for hours. Michael Jackson had two band A, band B in the studio. You know, big blocks. You know, he took up big studio blocks at times. So that's a big budget. So now the labels aren't so into the fact that okay, the talent. And I feel that we should push the talent forward. That's my opinion on it. But you know, with the labels, it's more about, you know, how they can profit more from the artist. So it's like if you're an entrepreneur and you selling T-shirts, you're gonna look for the cheapest T-shirt to sell. So the labels are looking for, you know, the cheaper artists to sign, that they can promote in a cheaper way with technology. You don't really have to go, you know, overseas and do a press run anymore because you got online. So it's just like the business has changed a lot. But the good things about the business is the new avenues of how you how you can capitalize with the music. Even if it's people are selling their music as cryptocurrency. It's so many different ways. You know, crowdfunding, some of the merchandising, like selling your music with an actual product. So those are new ways of making money in a way. Or streaming your concerts online, or even if you do set up a show at your house and you have all your supporters and fans, they all pay just to see you. It's a lot of artists that's doing that. So it's a lot of groundbreaking things that are happening with music right now, and those are the new ways that artists are trying to adapt to find new ways to make up for the money that they're not making with the album.
Yeah, one of the questions, Mark was asking a question about how often do you perform?
So me, I've been really like heavily in the background with production a lot. But eventually I do want to get back to, you know, performing on stage and stuff like that. But I'm mainly in the studio with the artists, producing and writing.
Now, do you find are there a lot of artists, up and coming artists down in the state of Florida that you work with?
So I'm originally from South Florida, and there's a lot of. And I actually started a showcase, artist showcase.
Okay.
I was promoting for a while. I called it Cue It Up, and I would have various artists come perform, promote their music. They had an album that they was promoting. A lot of artists now do short albums, call them EPs, like 5 songs. They'll come and they'll promote their EP or their new single, and I would do those like every Friday. Yeah, so that's one of the main things I was pushing. I look to reboot that where I am in Tampa, and eventually, you know, go, you know, from state to state and do that. But I'm always trying to create new ways and pathways for up and coming indie artists.
Yeah, COVID messed up a lot of stuff, you know, and put a damper on a lot of things. You know, you got to, you know, re-engineer and start it back up over again and everything, you know, because I know we got a good independent artist out of DC. Have you ever heard of Bay Bright?
Sound familiar?
Yeah, he's pretty strong. You know, he's very strong over in Europe. You know, and that amazes me how a lot of times the Europeans like our music more than we like it over here in the USA. You know,
they love us in Asia.
In Asia
and in China, they love us.
Hey, look, I was flipping through YouTube the other day. Was it YouTube? Well, somebody had posted on Instagram. Might have been an Instagram post where this young lady and this band over in Japan, they're doing go-go music and everything. They actually got an album now. They sounded good, you know. I mean,
it's not the real thing, but I know.
Yeah, but no, I mean, they had the beats, they had everything, you know. She was singing one of our old songs, you know. I can't even remember which one it was then, but I was just really surprised how they, you know, really got into it, you know, and the syncopation, the beats and stuff, you know. I said, oh, okay, you know, they're trying to do it. But they, like you said, they love our stuff, you know. They love stuff from the Black communities and everything, you know. So any advice for up and coming artists, you know, what would you tell you know, a 20-something year old person who has desire to has the skills to writing good music, and they're trying to move along, what would be the advice that you would give them?
So what I would tell them is, number one, just be open minded. We all got aspirations, dreams. There's a lot of people that want to be a star.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to reach for that. I'll never tell someone to not reach for your highest height you want to. But the main thing I would say is just be eager to learn the business. Don't be afraid to learn the business. Don't be afraid of contracts. Understand how the business works. I remember when I first started in the business, and I got my first big placement. I was producing for an artist that had got signed to Sony, and a friend of mine I went to school with, he called me up, hey, I want you to produce this for me. And I didn't have no knowledge of the business. I was scared. I was like, man, if I send my material to them, they can just take it away. Mm-hmm. But I just didn't know nothing about the business. He had to remind me. He said, bro, remember when we was in school and understanding copyrights? A lot of people talk about the Pullman copyright. That doesn't exist. Your copyright is the first tangible piece of creation. So the moment you write down on your pad your lyrics, the moment you type in your phone, the moment you record in your on your computer, your program, your software program, that is your most tangible copyright, because that's the only thing the judge really care about. Because anybody could register a song, online and say it's theirs with the Library of Congress. Mm-hmm. But the main thing I would say is, don't be afraid to negotiate. Don't be afraid of contracts and paperwork. You're going to see contracts. My best advice to you is to either get some representation or get people around you that have been in the business for a long period of time that can really help you and understand and break down the clauses in these contracts and everything. So the main thing is, learn the business, be open-minded, understand if you come in as an artist, don't be afraid to be a writer. If you come in as a producer, don't be afraid to sing. Try to do as much as you can, and also think completely out of the box. I have friends that work with major labels, and they got in just by becoming a video person, and then later on wrote a song and produced a song for a bigger artist. So just stay creative, be open-minded. If you play a song for an artist, if you meet Usher and you play a song for Usher and say, I like this song, can I use it for my album? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to negotiate with him and say, mm-hmm. You know what? This might be my first opportunity. That's how the songwriter Rico Love got discovered. Don't be afraid, because that one song, that's just one song. You'll be able to create millions of songs. That one opportunity could be your avenue to get into where you want to be. So stay open-minded.
Okay, sounds like a plan. But hey, James, I tell you, it's been great talking to you. Now I could probably spend another hour with you, talking to you. Because this is a very interesting conversation we're having, and it's a conversation that needs to be had. And hopefully, there are some young people that have watched the show tonight, and pass it along to everyone that they can go to YouTube and catch this show also. Off of YouTube, off of the voice of 99.9, I believe it is. You'll see it. But this is very important stuff. This is some good stuff, coming from them.
Can I say one last thing? Also, get involved with sync, TV and film. Mm-hmm. They pay better. If you are in the music business and you feel like you're not making enough money off your music, take your music and pitch it to film and TV, because they give you bigger payouts without you being signed to a label. You can be independent and do your thing and get bigger payouts off of your music, and it'll be on TV and film. So that's another thing. Just stay open-minded.
And they are still doing movies and they're still doing TV programs. So
they'll never stop. Right. They don't care how big you are. They don't care if what label you signed to or who your representation. They don't care about that. They only care about the music.
Yeah, that's what they want. And so that's some good advice and everything. I'm sorry that Taylor couldn't be here with us tonight. The other half of Hit Creators, but it was.
We'll come back. We'll come back once he feels better. We'll set.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds good.
When Bid for Love 2 come out, we'll come back and talk.
Okay. Just keep me in the loop about it and everything. So again, this has been the Urban Sentinel live show tonight, and I guess James Cupid of one half of the team of hit creators. The young man is going places. Him and his partner, they're going places. They're going to be up there with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis after a while. You'll be able to tie the two names together. I know they're going to do it. And that's how you do it. You reach for the stars. And that's how you do it. So again, I want to thank you, James, for sitting down with us. Talking to us, enlightening us on what you're doing at this time. Continue doing a great job. I know we'll be talking some more. Hey, sky's the limit. That's all I say. The sky's the limit and everything. Do your thing, man. Do your thing with your partner. Teller. Do your thing. So I'd like to say to my viewers, appreciate you tuning in tonight to Urban Sentinel Live. Ask that you would tell your friends to go to YouTube and catch us on YouTube, catch the show. Upload the show, spread it around. Give me some love. Help a brother out, Help a brother out. I'm still reaching for the stars, Never too late in life to reach for the stars, So that's a good thing, So until the next time, until next Tuesday night, again, I want to thank James, who's part of the Hit Creators team. Make sure Taylor gets to look at the interview. Tell him to go to YouTube and watch the interview. Everyone take care and please be safe out there. There's a lot of craziness going on in this world. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday night on the Urban Sentinel Live show. Hey, take care, James. Thanks again, man.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me.